As a professional, he stands undefeated at 8-0. All 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Originally from Russia, now out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, introducing Better Biev. And the referee in charge of the action, Mark Nelson.
Gentlemen, you received my instructions earlier, so you both know what I expect. Please give me a championship effort, obey my commands, and protect yourself at all times.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
Also, don't mistake him for someone who has hand-fed a bunch of cupcakes. Knocked out Tavares Cloud in the second round. Heard about the Campillo knockout. He's been in there with former world champions and dispatched them early.
And, you know, out of the 5 losses, he's lost twice in the Olympics, you know, the biggest amateur competition in the world. He's beaten everybody in the amateurs and even current world champions today at light heavyweight.
2 of the 8 knockout victories came in the opening round.
Beat Sergey Kovalev in the amateurs. And I like the way he knocks guys out. He sets it up with solid jabs, solid fundamentals, good technique. He doesn't go in just winging hard punches, throwing and praying. He hits a guy. He sets it up well.
And that says a lot because most punchers, they're not technically sound and they don't have that IQ that a lot of the great fighters have. I mean, but this guy has it all.
You can tell that Johnson is respectful of that power, trying to feel out Better Biev here and diving out of the way when he thinks trouble is coming.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, man. I've had Arthur in my, Johnson in my training, Alexander, I'm sorry, in my training camp as late as 2004. I mean, he's been around, and he has more experience than his record indicates. He's been in there with the top-notch fighters in the light heavyweight division.
There's a double-edged sword to being a finisher in boxing. People doubt your ability to go deep into a fight, to deal with adversity in a fight. He averages a little less than 2.5 rounds per fight. Johnson knows that. He knows that he can dance and move, use that southpaw slickness to maybe drag him into waters he hasn't seen before. That's going to be his strategy in this fight.
And I think he's going to show Better Biev some things that he hasn't seen as a professional because this guy truly knows his way around the ring. You see, he's not out of control. He's composed. And he has the confidence that he can make something happen big tonight.
Nothing big landed from either fighter thus far. Come up on the 10-second mark in round number 1. There will be no first round knockout. We'll see you for round number 2. Back live in Chicago. Neither Johnson nor Better Biev went to the stool in between rounds 1 and 2. Granted, early in the fight, but maybe just trying to prove that the road work has been put in and they are set to go.
I've never seen that before. I've seen one guy stand up. I've never seen 2.
Yeah.
I want to take a wager on who's going to sit down first.
That would be a good one.
Keep you posted on that one. George Foreman is applauding wherever he is.
George didn't sit down because he was too big.
He might not be able to get back up again. Crowd reacts.
Nice right hand for Better Biev. Johnson has to use his legs, but he can't be here against the ropes.
Has Johnson covered up here. Wails away from the outside. Most of those punches finding glove, I believe.
Johnson snuck one in right before they clinched.
Johnson has to use his feet, but cannot get corralled. Can't find himself against the ropes or in the corner against a puncher like Better Biev.
Better Biev just landed a stiff straight right to the midsection.
Well, we expect heavy action in this light heavyweight bout here. We also expect heavy action in the MMA. Two of the biggest names, Kimbo Slice and Ken Shamrock. Finally, these two guys are getting into the Bellator cage. We got a stacked card for you. Patricio Pitbull, Bobby Lashley, Michael Chandler. It's Bellator MMA, Kimbo versus Shamrock, presented by Miller Lite. It's next Friday, a week from today, live and free on Spike. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
This is some tremendous pressure that Beterbiev is putting on Johnson right now.
If you're Johnson, you're in his corner all throughout camp. I'm sure it was be ready to weather the storm. You're going to get hit with some hard shots. Keep your legs under you.
But I don't think Johnson ever got hit with these types of crisp power shots like this. Man, he's not loading up. He's just letting them go.
He's all left hand, two left hands landed, an uppercut got through. Beterbiev the aggressor here. Johnson covering up. And just has to bring it forward to get a breath of air.
When you study Beterbiev, what strikes you is crisp, sharp punches. He doesn't wing them. He doesn't telegraph them. They're sharp and they're fast.
He don't load up.
Exactly.
And that's a mark of a good pro.
We're seeing that more and more fighters coming out of the amateurs in Eastern Europe. Triple G, Kovalev, his former teammate, the Klitschko's, boxer punchers out of Eastern Europe that don't just hit hard, they set it up well, and that's what Beterbiev is doing in this fight.
Ooh.
Nice one, Johnson.
You know, a lot of, back in the day, European fighters had a style, a particular style, but they've gone away, and more fighters nowadays are more Americanized with their style. I mean, they got the swag now.
Yes, very true. Or they'll spend their amateur career there and train professionally here.
Jimmy, you mentioned it earlier, 8-0, but not fed tomato cans. The Campillo and Cloud wins, as impressive as can be. The Campillo knockout was a YouTube knockout, pardon the expression, an Ivan Drago knockout. Hit the man and walked away, didn't even wait for him to see the canvas.
It's important that Johnson relax. I mean, every time Beterbiev get close to him, he panics. You know, you got to relax. You can see it coming. Duck it or catch it. Don't panic.
Johnson has to be the guy later on in the fight who has more energy. Nice left hand over the top, but he's got to be the one with fresher legs, with sharper punches, past round 4 and 5, where Beterbiev has never been.
What he has to do is what he's doing now. He's making Beterbiev back up, and I don't know how many fighters has done that in his short career. Good body shot.
Down once against Jeff Page Jr. was more off balance in that shot. Never really hurt, never really moved back by a punch that I've seen.
Pleased to be joined by unofficial scorer Corey Erdman, and he has it 2-0 Beterbiev.
One thing that Johnson is making Beterbiev do that Beterbiev doesn't like to do is reach with that right hand. He likes short, tight punches, and he's making him overextend a little bit with that right hand. If you can make him pay, he can make a fight out of these rounds.
I think the key to victory for Johnson, if it's going to be a victory tonight, he has to be first. You can't let Beterbiev set up and plant those power shots on you. You got to make him counter you. You got to be first.
A lot of patience demonstrated by Beterbiev here. Of course, we established that Beterbiev is a Russian. He fights out of Montreal, Quebec. Robust fighting scene in Montreal. Beterbiev said when he was a young man, he would get into non-sanctioned fights, let's call them, and had a choice to make about which direction his life would go. Said that boxing was the best way to channel his energy. Said he could have gone the other way. I asked him to elaborate what the other way was. He refused to directly answer it, just said, think of all the bad things in life.
How many times in the story of boxing have you heard, I could have been a boxer or I could have been a gangster, I chose to be a boxer? A lot of people make that choice and become champions.
Many people think he'll make his millions right here in the squared circle in the months and years to come.
It's where Johnson cannot be, against the ropes, in the corner. He wants the center of the ring. So far, he hasn't been able to see it much.
end of round number 3. We'll go. It's an interesting dynamic. Maybe we'll get a chance to eavesdrop later on in this fight. In the corner for Beterbiev, he speaks Russian, being a Russian native. His trainer speaks French. There is a translator to go from French to Russian to get the instructions in the corner.
It is already rushed in a corner. A lot of times you feel like you have no time to talk to your guy. That cuts into that time. You got to wait for a translator to say everything back.
Look at the CompuBox numbers through 3 rounds. Beterbiev more accurate with his power punches, and more active, more than 2-1 over Johnson. And a big shot there backs up Johnson and makes him just dive in with both arms around Beterbiev's waist.
I've seen Beterbiev knock people out with that right hand, and the way he throws it, you don't even see it coming. He just leans forward, and all of a sudden he goes from 0 to 100, and that knockout punch is right on you.
But you're seeing a veteran move from Johnson. He gets hit from that right, goes inside, clinches, doesn't let Beterbiev follow up, especially with that left hook.
Oh, that's experience, man. He's been in there with some of the best light heavyweights in the world. He's not phased, but at the same time, he respects that power.
Beterbiev, an orthodox fighter, but they have measured his power punching almost equal left hand and right hand. Very, very rare to see something like that, and devastating power in both hands.
Well, his coach told us he used to switch up a lot in the amateurs, go from southpaw to orthodox. Doesn't do it a lot as a pro, but he has faith in that left hand, make no mistake. I'm
curious to see how this fight goes in Beterbiev body language, if in fact this fight gets past 4, 5, 6 and in the 7th round.
Two questions would be then, how does Beterbiev react, and will Johnson turn it on at that point to try and take advantage of maybe waters that Beterbiev has not been in before?
Johnson paid him back for that little sneaky right hand, and he had to one of his own. Same fashion it looked like.
Beterbiev has now seen Johnson put both gloves up to his face in a defensive stance and seems to be finding ways around it. Some uppercuts, back to the body, left hook.
I mean, Johnson really, he knows he shouldn't have his back against the rope, against a guy that has this type of power.
The pressure continues by Beterbiev. Johnson fights back out of the corner momentarily. Final 20 seconds of round number 4. No one has gone into the 5th round in Beterbiev's pro career. Alexander Johnson will be the first. Beterbiev with more pressure there in round number 4. One more commercial timeout. We'll be right back. A little sample of Mark Ramsey, the trainer for Beterbiev, speaking in French and then getting the translation. I believe the assistant there was Luc Vincent Houlet. Either way, we are underway in round number 5. New territory in the pro career of Artur Beterbiev.
My question is, will Johnson step it up at this point, try and take advantage? Because he has not won a single round in this fight. He's still in it, but has not found his offense.
There was a left that got through. You can tell Johnson is diving out of the way when the heat really gets up.
One thing he cannot do is fight fire with fire. Does not have the punching power.
Right there is the position that Johnson wants to be. Right in the center of the ring where you can use your boxing ability. And also, you can land some shots if he do what he's supposed to do. But backing up to the ropes, it's bad for him.
No knockdown. No knockdown. Back up.
Well, there's a close-up there of Johnson. You can see him almost breathing exclusively out of his mouth. He took this fight on short notice. Oh, and then that'll be a knockdown there. That will not be ruled a slip. Johnson's back up quickly, but a knockdown for Artur Beterbiev here in round number 5.
And believe it or not, that was just a stiff jab. No power shot. He didn't see it coming.
Johnson claiming it was a slip. I think he was just caught off balance. Have to see if he's actually hurt by that shot.
He got back up immediately, probably by the 3 count, so that might indicate that it wasn't just the punch that sent him to the canvas.
I think that just goes to show you how hard this guy can truly hit. And you said it yourself.
Yeah.
He has just as much power in the left hand. He turned that jab over.
You can tell that Better Biev feels if he stands in front of me, he's out of there. And Johnson now takes a right and is up against the ropes. That'll be a knockdown. 2 knockdowns here in round number 5. Johnson's in trouble with 50 seconds remaining in the round.
He did not go to knee. The referee saying that only the ropes were keeping him up. I happen to agree because he was hurt.
He was. And again, for those young fighters out there watching, man, you don't have to load up with those shots. You just got to have your body under you and punch effectively.
Better Biev senses it right now. He's got 30 seconds to try and close this out. You cannot be saved by the bell in any round.
And Johnson has good legs, but he's not using them right now. He needs to be moving.
Johnson is just getting everything that Better Biev hands him now.
Show me something.
Referee's about to stop this fight.
This
Better
might
Biev
be
keeps unloading.
Johnson has nothing left, but the bell does save him in this instance. 5. Okay, you heard the referee, Mark Nelson, say you got to show me something. You heard Johnson's trainer, Daryl Tyson, say I'm about ready to stop this fight. Can Johnson show enough here in round number 6?
The first time in this fight, he's coming out aggressively. He's trying to get Better Biev moving backward.
The exact response he needed to have for the referee and his trainer.
Stay off his foot.
He stepped on his foot, but he didn't throw a punch.
We're going to use that trick. Throw the punch and get him down. Make it count. Almost a Sonny Liston jab. Like, he looks like he's trying to knock his opponent down with a jab. Very powerful with the left hand.
There's so many different variations of the jab, man. You got an up jab, you got a snapping jab, and you got a punishing jab. And it looks like Better Biev owns all of them.
Sets up a lot of his knockouts with this kind of shovel punch where he turns it under and snaps the head back. That's one of his favorites. We've seen him do it with the right hand. That's what led to the knockdown, the second knockdown in the 5th round.
And I want to say this about Johnson, man. His skill is undeniable. But sometimes when you're not connected with a great manager or promoter, you get these calls at last minute. There's no way you can prepare for a killer like Better Biev in a short period of time.
Saw Corey Erdman's unofficial scorecard, the huge 10-7 round for Better Biev.
Better Biev being very patient in this sixth round. He's not going crazy looking for the knockout, being very composed. I think it's that amateur background. Also, remember, he's 30 years old. He's a lot older than a lot of fighters with only 8 fights, very mature.
And that goes to tell you, man, you don't always have to be 18, 19, 20. You just got to know the craft.
Go punch, go punch.
Talk about a smart fighter, smart man overall. Has 3 degrees. He got his bachelor's, his master's, and a law degree. He's working on a doctorate in sports science, is Better Biev. Now, I should say these are web degrees that he got back in his home country of Russia. I'm not sure about the educational correspondence courses that you might take there. Nonetheless, a decorated academician.
Seems to be really taking a lot of this round off. He's had his moments. He's let Johnson dictate the pace. Maybe letting Johnson get a little confidence that he can counter on with some hard shots. We'll have to see.
Well, that 5th round was a very, very busy round for Better Biev. And hey, I mean, if he takes this round off, I mean, he deserves that. I mean, he threw a lot of shots that last round.
You see the damage now on Johnson's face in the final seconds here of round number 6. Blood coming from the nostrils of Johnson. Better Biev in complete command. Alexander Johnson hearing it from his corner again. Not as much talk in between these rounds of stopping the fight potentially, as Johnson did come out a little bit aggressive, although Daryl Tyson right before the end of the 60 seconds said, you got to still show me something.
I didn't like what I heard from inside of that corner.
Tell me.
They're telling this guy that he can live to fight another day, or there'll be another fight, that if they don't see what they want to see, they're going to stop the fight. Johnson is in this fight. All he has to do is stay in the ring. You never know what these rounds that he's never been can do to him.
after a competitive round, they're saying that too. I mean, it's a lot of negativity after a round where he finally looks like he's getting a little bit comfortable, finally throwing some left hands. They're still talking about stopping the fight. You got to go with the momentum. Yeah, I don't agree with it either.
Alexander Johnson's a man who's fighting for his way of life. He was a guy that had told us that he ran afoul of the law. He was arrested one time in front of his young son. Said it was so mortifying for him that when he had his legal issues straightened out, he was sleeping. His two brothers, who were deceased, murdered in Washington, D.C. in separate incidents, came to him in a dream, according to Johnson. And that his brother and his cousin told him, you need to straighten in this dream, you need to straighten your life out, you need to get back into the boxing gym. And was that another knockdown or was that a slip? I believe they'll call it a knockdown. Indeed they will. The count continues.
He ran into a right hand. That's a legit knockdown.
It looked like a quick left. I could be wrong.
Yeah, let's check it out.
So quick.
But as you can see, it's a different fight when Johnson is in the center of the ring.
And a flip and a right hand, and he covers up, and that is it. One punch ends the fight. Artur Beterbiev with the knockout.
We knew he had power. He got a chance to show it with that right hand. And Johnson, as tough as he is, crumpled after that right hand. Good stoppage by the referee.
You look at the final CompuBox numbers. Beterbiev, the more active puncher, the more accurate puncher, and of course with the power shots to end this fight. Let's go into the ring. Michael C. Williams with the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute 38 seconds into round number 7. The winner by TKO, still undefeated, Artur Beterbiev.